Hey there, nostalgia enthusiasts. Welcome back to Retro Rabbit Hole, your ultimate time machine to the neon-soaked era of big hair, cassette tapes, and arcade games. Today, we're diving into a treasure trove of childhood memories as we count down the top 10 toys that define the 1980s. From action figures that sparked epic backyard battles to the electronic gadgets that had us glued to our screens, these toys weren't just playthings, they were the icons of a generation. So, whether you're a die-hard collector, a nostalgic soul, or just curious about the toys that had kids saving their allowances, you're in the right place. Get ready to rewind as we explore the stories, the craze, and the magic behind each of these legendary toys. But before we jump in, make sure to drop us a like, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell to join our retro family and never miss an adventure down memory lane. Now, let's get started and uncover the top 10 toys that made the 80s truly radical. Opening up our countdown in the number 10 spot, we have the beloved Teddy Ruxpin. Teddy Ruxpin, the world's first animatronic storytelling bear, made its debut in 1985. Created by Ken Force and brought to market by Worlds of Wonder, Teddy wasn't just any toy. He was a technological marvel of his time. With moving eyes and mouth, Teddy Ruxpin brought stories to life, captivating the imaginations of children and adults alike. But Teddy Ruxpin was more than just an animatronic bear. He was a pioneer, setting the stage for the interactive toys we see today. Did you know that Teddy Ruxpin was designed to be a non-threatening companion for children? His creators specifically chose a bear because it's a universal symbol of comfort and security across many cultures. Over the years, Teddy went through several iterations. The original model used cassette tapes to tell stories and play songs, while later versions would utilize digital technology to enhance the experience. The cassettes would use the left track for audio and the right track for a control data stream. The data stream controlled servo motors that moved the eyes and mouth. Teddy Ruxpin wasn't just a hit in North America. He became a worldwide sensation, with estimated sales reaching millions in the 1980s alone. This bear wasn't just a toy. He was a beloved member of the family in homes across the globe. The Teddy Ruxpin universe expanded beyond the bear. It included a range of merchandise from books and outfits to an animated TV series that furthered Teddy's adventures with his friends. The magic of Teddy Ruxpin lies not just in his technology, but in his ability to foster a love for storytelling and adventure. To this day, Teddy holds a special place in the hearts of those who grew up with him, becoming a cherished collector's item. Continuing our countdown in the number 9 spot, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first burst onto the scene in 1984 as a comic book. But it was the launch of the animated TV series in 1987 that skyrocketed these heroes in a half-shell to global fame, setting the stage for one of the most iconic toy lines of the decade. The original comics were much darker than the animated series and toys. The transition to a kid-friendly format was key to its mainstream success. Playmates Toys released the first Ninja Turtles action figures in 1988, and they quickly became a must-have for kids everywhere. The original line included the 4 turtles, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael, along with their sensei, Splinter, and their arch-nemesis, Shredder. The Ninja Turtles toy line expanded to include a vast array of vehicles, playsets, and even more eccentric characters from the series. Remember the Technodrome or the Turtle Van? The impact of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was massive. By the early 90s, the franchise had generated billions in sales, with the toys being a huge part of that success. While exact figures for the 80s are hard to pin down, it's clear that the Turtles toy line was a juggernaut that continued to thrive into the 90s and beyond. Since their inception in 1984, the formidable foursome would go on to appear in 7 movies and 5 television series. From comic books to action figures, and from the small screen to the big screen, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have left an indelible mark on pop culture. Their toys aren't just pieces of plastic, they're artifacts of a radical period in entertainment history. Locked in at the number 8 spot on our list is Lego. The story of Lego began long before the 80s, in 1932 to be precise, in a small carpenter's workshop in Denmark. But it was during the 80s that Lego bricks truly cemented their status as a staple of creative play. The 1980s saw Lego innovating and expanding like never before. Themes like Lego space, castle, and town became more detailed and imaginative, captivating kids and adults alike. Lego wasn't just about individual sets, it was about building a universe where the only limit was your imagination. Now let's lay down some fascinating trivia and fun facts about Lego in the 1980s. Did you know the Lego minifigure made its debut in 1978? By the 1980s, these little figures had become heroes of their own epic tales, thanks to the ever-expanding Lego universe. In 1989, Lego took us on a historical adventure with the introduction of the Lego Pirates theme, complete with ships, treasure islands, and of course, pirates and soldiers. This theme introduced the iconic Lego monkey and parrot, expanding the Lego animal kingdom. Lego's innovation wasn't just in its themes. In 1986, they introduced the first computer-controlled Lego set, the Technic Control Center, paving the way for the future of interactive play. From humble beginnings to becoming a cornerstone of creative play, Lego's journey through the 1980s is a testament to the power of imagination. Whether you're a seasoned builder or just love the click of two bricks coming together, Lego has something for everyone, young and old. Next on our list, in the number 7 slot, we have the revolutionary Nintendo Entertainment System. Launched in Japan as the Famicom in 1983 and in North America in 1985, the NES wasn't just a console. It was the savior of the video game industry, which had seen a significant crash in 1983. Nintendo's strategy? Quality control and captivating games. The NES introduced iconic franchises like Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, and Metroid, redefining gaming for generations. But what made the NES stand out wasn't just its games. It was the whole experience. Did you know the NES saved the video game industry by introducing the lockout chip, ensuring only approved games were played, which significantly raised the quality of games? The original Super Mario Bros. Game has sold over 40 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling games of all time. The NES's original MSRP was around $200, which included the console, 2 controllers, and sometimes a game, often the iconic Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. Combo cartridge. Adjusting for inflation, that's about $470 today. The NES's impact goes far beyond numbers. It reignited the world's love for video games and set the standard for future consoles. It wasn't just a machine. It was a portal to countless worlds, adventures, and memories. From reviving the gaming industry to introducing characters and stories that are beloved to this day, the NES's legacy is as enduring as the pixels on its screens. Whether you're a retro gamer or a newcomer to the classics, the NES reminds us of the power of imagination and innovation. Continuing on our nostalgic countdown, in the number 6 position, we have the enchanted My Little Pony collection. My Little Pony galloped into our hearts in 1983, created by Hasbro. These colorful ponies weren't just toys, they were a phenomenon, complete with their own vibrant personalities, names, and unique symbols known as cutie marks. The original line, known as Generation 1, included Earth ponies, Pegasus ponies, unicorn ponies, and even sea ponies, creating a diverse universe that sparked the imaginations of children worldwide. My Little Pony was inspired by the success of Hasbro's My Pretty Pony toy in 1981. The smaller, more colorful versions were designed to appeal directly to young girls. The very first pony released was Cotton Candy, who became a staple character and is highly sought after by collectors today. In the 1980s, a My Little Pony could be yours for around $3 to $5, depending on the size and type. My Little Pony was a runaway success, with millions sold in the 1980s alone. The brand has continued to flourish, with new generations and reboots keeping the magic alive. The legacy of My Little Pony isn't just in the numbers, it's in the joy and creativity it brought to playtimes around the globe. From TV shows to movies, and even conventions, My Little Pony has created a vibrant community of fans and collectors. Many enthusiasts call themselves bronies, which is a blend of bro and ponies, indicating that the fan base includes not just young girls, but also a significant number of adults and males. From its inception as a simple toy line to becoming a cultural icon, My Little Pony reminds us of the enduring power of friendship and imagination. Whether you're a longtime collector or a new fan, the world of My Little Pony is as magical as ever. Marking the halfway point on our list, we find He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Launched by Mattel in 1982, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was more than just a toy line. It was a cultural phenomenon. With its blend of fantasy, science fiction, and superhero themes, it captivated the imaginations of kids everywhere. The line featured an array of characters, from the heroic He-Man and his allies to the sinister Skeletor and his minions, each with their unique backstory and powers. Originally conceived as a toy line before it became an animated series, the success of the toys led to the creation of the cartoon, which then fueled even more toy sales. The first He-Man action figure came with a mini-comic that provided a backstory for the character, a trend that continued with many figures in the line. As for the might of He-Man's sales, the toy line was a juggernaut, generating over $2 billion in worldwide sales during its peak years in the mid-'80s. It was truly the master of the toy universe. The legacy of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe extends far beyond the '80s, with revivals, new toy lines, and a passionate fan base keeping the power of Grayskull alive. In 1985, the animated TV series He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was canceled due to declining ratings, and the spin-off series She-Ra, Princess of Power followed suit in 1987. She-Ra, as we all know, was He-Man's twin sister. From Eternia to Earth, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and by association, She-Ra have left an indelible mark on the world of toys and pop culture. Whether you're a collector or a fan of the lore, the saga of He-Man continues to inspire new generations. Rolling into the number 4 position, we have Transformers. Launched in 1984 by Hasbro, Transformers weren't just another toy on the shelf. They were a groundbreaking concept. Robots that could transform into cars, jets, and even dinosaurs. It was like getting 2 toys in one, doubling the fun and play value. But Transformers were more than just versatile toys. They were characters in an epic saga of good versus evil, brought to life in an animated series that aired alongside the toy launch. The Autobots, led by the noble Optimus Prime, battled the devious Decepticons, headed by the cunning Megatron for control of their home planet Cybertron and Earth. The animated series served as a daily advertisement for the toys, creating a desire that Saturday morning cartoons alone couldn't achieve. And with each new season, new characters were introduced, fueling an ever-growing collection frenzy. But perhaps the real secret to their success was the quality and innovation of the toys themselves. Transformers were a feat of engineering, with complex designs that challenged and engaged the mind. Each transformation was a puzzle to solve, making them more than just action figures. They were brain teasers clad in colorful plastic. The impact of Transformers on the '80s toy scene and beyond is undeniable. They captured the imagination of a generation, setting a new standard for what action figures could be. The legacy of Transformers, with their compelling characters, engaging stories, and innovative designs, continues to resonate with fans old and new. Next up on our list at number 3 is an iconic figure that defined a generation, G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe first reported for duty in 1964 as a 12-inch action figure, dubbed America's Movable Fighting Man. But it was the 1980s that transformed G.I. Joe from a solitary soldier into a squad of the most diverse and dynamic action figures on the market, thanks to Hasbro's relaunch with the Real American Hero line. This new era introduced a host of characters, each with their own unique specialties and backstories, along with an extensive arsenal of vehicles and playsets, setting the stage for endless battles against the nefarious Cobra organization. Did you know that the term G.I. Joe was used in World War II as a generic term for U.S. soldiers? The name's inspiration for the toy line was a nod to these brave individuals. The 1980s relaunch also introduced the iconic file cards, written by Marvel Comics writer Larry Hama, giving each character a rich backstory and personality, enhancing playtime with depth and narrative. The impact of G.I. Joe on the toy industry was monumental. In the 1980s, G.I. Joe consistently topped sales charts, with estimated worldwide sales reaching into the hundreds of millions. making it one of the most successful toy lines of the decade. The legacy of G.I. Joe goes beyond the battlegrounds of playrooms. It's a tale of innovation, storytelling, and the celebration of heroes. With continuous revivals and a dedicated fanbase, G.I. Joe remains a symbol of courage and imagination. Sitting squarely in the number 2 spot is the iconic Rubik's Cube. Invented in 1974 by Hungarian architect Erno Rubik, originally called the Magic Cube, the Rubik's Cube wasn't just a toy but a teaching tool for spatial understanding. It wasn't until 1980 that the puzzle was introduced globally as the Rubik's Cube we know today. With its colorful, swiveling sides, the cube became an instant hit, symbolizing both intellectual challenge and pop culture phenomenon throughout the 1980s and beyond. But there's more to this cube than just 43 quintillion configurations. Did you know the world record for solving a Rubik's Cube is a mind-boggling 3.13 seconds? Speed cubers from around the world compete to crack the cube in record time, using algorithms known as CFOP to streamline their solutions. Early versions of the Rubik's Cube didn't have stickers for the colors. Instead, the plastic itself was colored, making these original cubes highly sought after. The colorful cube has sold over 350 million units worldwide, making it one of the best-selling puzzles in history and a staple of 1980s culture. The legacy of the Rubik's Cube extends far beyond the 80s. With competitions, variations, and a global community, the cube continues to challenge and inspire problem solvers around the world. Occupying the top spot on our list, we have the Cabbage Patch Kids. These adorable dolls sprouted onto the scene in the early 80s, but their roots go deeper, starting with their creator, Xavier Roberts, in 1978. Originally called Little People, these hand-stitched dolls were first sold at craft shows before being mass-produced by Coleco in 1982, transforming into the Cabbage Patch Kids we know today. Each doll was unique, with its own set of facial features, hair, outfit, and even a birth certificate, making them more than just toys. They were adoptable children for eager kids around the globe. Some parents even went as far as to throw adoption parties for their new arrivals. The adoption craze wasn't just a fad, it was a phenomenon, with estimated worldwide sales reaching over $2 billion by the end of 1984 alone, making them one of the most successful toy launches in history. Did you know that the Cabbage Patch Kids were at the center of one of the first major holiday toy frenzies? In 1983, the demand for Cabbage Patch Kids caused doll mania, with stores mobbed by parents trying to secure a doll for the holidays, leading to what some called Cabbage Patch riots. Each Cabbage Patch Kid signature on its bottom is actually Xavier Roberts' signature. Initially, it was hand-signed on the dolls, but as the dolls went into mass production, the signature was stamped on. The legacy of Cabbage Patch Kids extends far beyond the 80s, with new generations of kids welcoming these lovable dolls into their homes. Whether you're a longtime collector or just reminiscing about your childhood friend, the Cabbage Patch Kids hold a special place in the hearts of many. And there you have it, fellow time travelers. Our whirlwind tour through the most iconic, game-changing toys of the 1980s. If this journey down memory lane has ignited your nostalgia, or if you're discovering these treasures for the first time, we'd love to hear your stories and memories. Drop a comment below with your favorite 80s toy and why it holds a special place in your life. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip down the retro rabbit hole, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more dives into the treasures of yesteryear. Until next time, keep those memories alive and maybe dust off some of those old toys. Who knows what kind of adventures you'll rediscover? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.